Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Brooks Bollinger, and let's get started. So I was scrolling through Twitter today and trying to think of an idea for a video other than a third round of a mock draft, and I came across this post that said Daniel Jeremiah of NFL Network had posted his mock draft 3.0, and the thing that caught my eye was Packers pick a quarterback. So I said, I have to read this because this sounds ridiculous. So let's get into this. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna read it for you. We'll sort of just like do this like a little together thing. It'll be weird, but let's read all his picks and just sort of react to the mock draft itself, and of course the Packers picking a quarterback. Let's just go through it. All right, so first overall pick for Cincinnati, he has Joe Burrow. No arguments there. Number 2, Redskins, he's got Chase Young. No argument there. 3 for the Lions, he's got Jeffrey Okudah. I think everybody agrees with that, including myself. For the 4th pick, he has the Giants taking Tristan Wirfs. I agree with that a lot. I actually did a mock draft a couple weeks ago where I had Tristan Wirfs in there, and I sort of admitted that it might have been a little bit of an overreaction to the combine, but I think Tristan Wirfs might be the best offensive tackle in this class, so don't be surprised if that is something that happens. With the 5th pick, he has Justin Herbert going to the Dolphins, and then Tua Tagovailoa going to the Chargers right after that at 6 overall. There's been some smoke screens, I think, recently with Tua possibly falling in the draft. I still think Herbert is the one that's going to fall if one of the two of them do. They absolutely could go 5 and 6 back to back. That is definitely within the realm of possibility. But I think if one of them is going to fall, it's going to be Herbert, and I just think it's because of the leadership issues that teams have a little bit of concern about. 7, he has Derek Brown going to the Panthers. That's pretty much on par with what I was thinking, even though I have Kinlaw in that spot. Cardinals, he's got Jedrick Wills. That seems reasonable. Jaguars at 9 overall, he has Mekhi Becton. That's interesting. His rationale is this pick helps them upgrade 2 spots. Becton takes over at left tackle, and Cam Robinson slides into guard. Okay, if you're going to spin it that way, I guess I could live with that. I still think the defense is full of holes, more holes than Swiss cheese, but if you can, if your rationale is solving 2 spots at once, then, more power to you. All right, at 10 overall, he has the Browns taking Isaiah Simmons. That's going to upset a lot of Browns fans because I think Browns fans at this point are ride or die with the idea of an offensive tackle being their new prospect. He even says the Browns need another offensive tackle, and I agree. If all the good ones are off the board and he's still available, maybe this is what you do. You get a linebacker that you kind of need. Christian Kirksey's gone. Schilbert's gone, so maybe this is all they have is Mack Wilson on the roster. That is the only one that I like, so maybe that's what they do. Let's see. 11, he's got CeeDee Lamb to the Jets. I can agree with that. Jerry Jeudy to the Raiders at 12. That's the same pick that I've made. Henry Ruggs to the 49ers at 13. I guess I have no problem with that. Ruggs is an interesting specimen because one of the arguments I've heard against him lately is that how is he this good, yet he was kind of buried on the Alabama depth chart at his own position. Jerry Jeudy and that other kid that they have, his name escapes me right now, who's probably going to be a high draft pick next year. Something to think about. All right. Oh, Andrew Thomas all the way to 14. So now I have to reconsider what I just said about Isaiah Simmons because this is ludicrous. There's no way that Andrew Thomas gets past the Browns at 10. There's just no way. I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. That's not going to happen. Kinlaw to the Broncos at 15. That's a great pick if he can be had there. CJ Henderson to the Falcons at 16. 100% agree with that. If Henderson is available in that spot, absolutely go ahead and take him. Kayvon Chaisson to the Cowboys. I made that pick 2 days ago. That's pretty wild. Yetur Gross-Matos to the Dolphins at 18. I absolutely do agree with that. I have him. He's a little bit lower on my board for some reason, but 18 to the Dolphins is a great fit. AJ Terrell to the Raiders at 19. That's a little rich. I would probably rather have Trayvon Diggs or Jeff Gladney or somebody else in that spot. But you know, Terrell is still a really good athlete, and the idea of pairing him with his college teammate Trayvon Mullen, which it says right here, wouldn't be that bad of an idea. Justin Jefferson to the Panthers at 20. I like that pick. Nothing wrong with that. Kenneth Murray to the Eagles at 21. No, I pass. I mean, yes, they do need defensive help, but they need a wide receiver. You know, I've said constantly in my videos that this wide receiver group is pretty deep, so you can have one later. But I don't know, a linebacker at 21. I don't know. Jalen Johnson to the Vikings at 22. He wouldn't be my pick. I'd rather have Jeff Gladney, but Jalen Johnson could, you know, absolutely be a person that we get at 22. He would fit the scheme. AJ Epinesa to the Patriots at 23. I still think Epinesa falls out of the first round. I just do. He didn't test well, which is exactly what Jeremiah says in his rationale. Patriots love size, power on the edges. Epinesa isn't an elite tester, but he's a very productive football player. I agree. Patrick Queen to the Saints. I completely agree with that. Oh, the Vikings taking T. Higgins at 25 overall. No, absolutely not. 100% disagree with that, man. Let's see. Higgins would bring some size and red zone ability to the Vikings offense. Sure. Yeah. That's great. But you got to understand that as I just sort of, you know, chastises him for the wide receiver he took a little bit earlier, this is no fly for me because we could easily get somebody in the second round that's a wide receiver like I don't know, Laviska Shenault should probably be there. KJ Hamler could be there. I like the size of T. Higgins, but I just don't know if I'd rather trade down maybe and get him. I digress. Josh Jones to the Dolphins at 26. I could agree with that. Austin Jackson to the Seahawks at 27. I can agree with that. Zach Bond is an interesting choice for the Ravens at 28 overall. Ravens need more of an edge rush. Bond has the athleticism to drop and cover as well. Sure, yes, 100% agree. I have Bond in my first round. I would definitely do that. 29 overall, Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State. No, I don't. I think that's a little too early for the Titans to take a wide receiver. I like the idea of them getting one at the end of the second round if they absolutely do want to take one. Go defense here with this first pick for the Titans. Okay, and now we've come to the whole reason I decided to make this video was the Packers taking Jordan Love with the 30th overall pick. Let's see what his rationale is. It's tough to find the right spot for Love. He could go in the top 10 or fall to this neighborhood of the draft. The Packers would be a great fit for him to sit, learn, and develop. So they've done that once. They have some experience doing this with Aaron Rodgers. They drafted him. Aaron Rodgers was presumably going to be the first overall pick. It was either going to be him or Alex Smith. And then after that, we didn't know which of the two that didn't get picked where they would go. And Aaron Rodgers ended up falling for hours and hours and hours. And that green room situation is pretty famous at this point. Then he eventually did get picked by the Packers, and he sat for a couple years. So if that's something that they think they need to do, then by all means go for it. However, I don't think that they're in a position to do that right now because you look at the rest of this division, you know, my team included. This is a division that's very winnable by them right now, the Green Bay Packers, that is, and their really only threat is the Vikings. And I think the Vikings might find themselves in a little bit of trouble given how many holes they have on defense this year, having not done the draft yet. So it's interesting to me that the Packers would be thinking about the future instead of trying to win right this minute. So yeah, that's my reaction to that. All right, just to round this out, he has Ross Blacklock going to the 49ers at 31. That's fine. Cesar Ruiz at 32 to the Chiefs. That's pretty interesting. I would definitely consider that. They do need interior offensive line help, and Ruiz is the best one. He can move over to guard. All right, so that's my reaction to Daniel Jeremiah's Mock Draft 3.0. If you enjoyed this video and you think I should react to another mock draft, let me know. Leave a link in the comments, and I'll check it out, and maybe we'll do another one of these. Thanks for watching, and tune in to the next one. I'm going to come around here and shut you guys off now.